Let's have another go at it. What's what's been on your mind recently? Has anything been on your mind that's?
You know, I don't know if you've been watching you know the story about Barbara Windsor in the news that she's got dementia.
I don't live on planet Earth, so therefore you have to inform me in great detail of everything. So.
Well, anyway, she's got Alzheimer's, and when they keep reporting it on the news, they keep saying she was in this. Like it come across like she died or something. And as a person who's got memory problems themselves, and know how difficult it is, and I'm thinking, well, I don't think she's dead. I mean, she's ill, but you know.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to predict the future. I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I mean, like I don't kind of follow the news cycle because I think it's just designed to fuck with your head. So, because it's I just personally prefer information about people that I know. You know.
Yeah.
I prefer information about the people that I know. Anybody who tells me, first of all, anybody who tells me anything about anyone that I don't know, I take it with a pinch of salt. Secondly, if someone I don't know is telling me about someone that I don't know, it's like,
Just go away.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. I mean, like, you either fill your head with useful information or you fill your head with useless information. If you fill it with useful information, you talk sense and logic.
Well, we could talk about that American president.
We could. What's he been up to? I have no idea. I don't follow the news cycle, so inform me.
He's been trying to get upset Iran by saying that he doesn't agree with about the nuclear deal that was set up.
What the hell has it got to do with him anyway? I mean, it's like can't people in Iran make their own deals with people in other countries? Why the hell do they have to get permission from kingpin top boss guy? I don't even get that.
I think he's a bit of a bully boy myself, old Trumpy.
Well, I think that we don't know, right? Which goes back to my first point. It's like someone who I don't know telling me about someone that I don't know. It's like everything that you're telling me could be absolute nonsense. So I have to sort of kind of defer judgment until I meet somebody, whether or not the information that I've heard about them is good or bad or right or wrong, because it seems to me that everyone's got an agenda and there's so much money rolled up in everything that it would be very easy to, paint a false picture. I don't know. What do you think?
I think you could be right. As the trouble is, as you say, you don't hear everything true. It's like when you read the news, hear the news on the telly, right? You watch one show, and you think, oh yeah, and then you watch another the same news, and it's not on the news. You're thinking, oh, why isn't it on that news? Did they like that story?
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's, if you imagine that the people who are on the other side, and I think you have to do this by default, right? Imagine the people on the other side are more intelligent than you. They might not be, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They're educated and it's their job to do that. They already know what you are going to think before you think it, because they're putting out the information. The action will cause reaction. You've got to give them the benefit of the doubt that they know what they're doing, right? And that's why I gave my television away to somebody about 15 years ago, and the quality of my life dramatically improved.
Well, I could quite believe that, yes.
Because I had more time for things that interested me. I had more thoughts about things that interested me, rather than spending time talking about someone I don't know in some place that I don't know, doing things that I don't even know or if they're real or not. I would just kind of, I can sit here on my balcony and I can watch the clouds drift overhead and I can chill. And I can go like, there's a cloud and there's a bird.
But yeah, you can say, "Oh, that cloud looks like."
Yeah, my it's probably one of my kids' favorite games is like, "Oh, that cloud looks like a chicken," and that cloud looks like a spaceship, and you know.
It's nice that when kids younger, they got innocence, but they soon grow out of it very quickly.
Yes and no. I mean, I've noticed with my daughters that they learn to lie at a very early age and stage, and this is kind of frightening. I don't know if you've got kids, mate. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Okay, and so I'm all for being having a sort of a strict set of rules and having some morals and some ethics and guidelines and stuff. But I did not teach my kids to lie. Right. I'm like, that's ice cream behind your back. And no, it's not. Like, where did you learn that? Right. Where did you pick that up from? So, in general, kids I would replace innocent with kind of helpless at the earliest age, right? And then maybe they grow into whatever environment they've got, and hopefully it's an innocent environment that's not going to affect them too much in a negative way, and then hopefully they're going to get some level for some time of unconditional love, and then the rest is life's what you make it, right?
Well, that's true. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, what's your take? What's your experience? Right? You said you got kids, so what's the status there?
Well, mine was an unusual situation because I came into an instant family because all my kids are stepkids.
Okay.
So I knew them from let me see, 5, 6, and 13.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that must have been really difficult to come into that kind of situation.
It was. I mean, I didn't never force them to call me anything, but like dad or anything like that, because I don't believe in that. That's up to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was difficult. I won't say one, but we've got good relationships now. I mean, we fall out like any other family do. I mean, I don't know if family yet hasn't fallen out with somebody.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have your disagreements, but blood is blood, right?
Yeah. I mean, you still care for them, no matter what, don't you?
Well, you have to. I mean, because you have to, because they need it. Because no matter what generation you are, you're always looking up to a generation that came before you for advice and support.
Very true. We always say, "Oh, listen to your elders," and then we think, "God, I am the elder."
Yeah, and that kind of catches up on people really quickly, I think. And in general, when generalisms, general statements, kind of things like "listen to your elders" is like, I would rather listen to anyone who knows more than me about the topic. Yeah, not specifically an elder, because I've met people who are older than me who are as dumb as a box of rocks, right? And I'm not, I have to wonder with some people how they got that far, right? I mean, obviously there's some level of intelligence there that I don't understand. I mean, but you have to wonder how some people got that far around the track of life, right? It's like you have to put your faith and trust in the fact that it's obviously something beyond what I understand. But I've been in many situations where I've listened to people who are older and they've given me really bad advice, and I thought because they were older and more experienced, they knew what they were talking about, but they didn't. So Again, it sort of comes down to individual situations. You got to pick and choose who you go to for what kinds of advice, right?
That's true. I mean, as you say, we like doing chats like this. You learn a lot as well. You learn bits and pieces about other people.
Well, that's the whole point. I mean, life is a giant puzzle, and we don't have all of the pieces, and we don't have any of the pieces at the beginning. And what happens as we go through life is we take these little steps that we hope are in the right direction, and we add more pieces to the puzzle, and gradually, you know, we try to form a picture. And you know, hopefully our parents were wise enough to maybe fill in some of the edge parts first, so we get some kind of framework for how we're going to live our lives. And you know, really at the end of the day, the success of our lives is determined by the quality of our thoughts and our actions, and that's a huge responsibility.
Yeah, so you've got an intelligent thinking.
Well, I'm thinking about thinking, right? And I think and I also think that it's a mistake to think that everybody is thinking. Right? I think a lot of. Sorry, go ahead.
People go around like sheep sometimes.
It's a little bit like that. It's almost like I call it the autopilot, right? Where people tend to get comfortable with what there is around about them, and this tends to cause them to think slightly less than they would if they lived in an environment of scarcity, for example.
Yes, that's true, because we, I mean, it's like people say, oh, I'm poor, but our poor is nothing compared to real poor. Like, real poor is like having nothing to eat.
Oh yeah,
and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've never had a lot of money in my life, but I've never been in that state of poverty, right? I've always had a roof over my head. I've been able to engage in commerce, run business, buy and sell things, and never had to worry too much about things that perhaps my parents' generation had to worry about.
Oh, time's running out again. 15 minutes is not enough.
I know. We got another. I'll tell you a little story for 30 seconds, right? I'll tell you a little story for 30 seconds. Yeah. So my daughter's just joined in the conversation. The story is that it's a story about my mother. My mother asked my mother what her best Christmas present that she ever got was, and she told me that one Christmas she got a doll and an orange, right? A doll and an orange. That was her. And she said she was overjoyed. She was over the moon. It was just like the best Christmas ever for her.
You say?
Yeah. And you know that was symbolic of a kind of love, right? And you know, if you give kids today, like, you got a little